Okay. Our sister BarbDahlgren. Can y'all give a round of applause for our sister Barbara? And give it up for the Green Party!
Hey everyone, I'm BarbDahlgren from the Greater Milwaukee Green Party. I co-chair right now. And first of all, free Palestine.
Yay!
Free Palestine!
Yay! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
I want to make sure to say that we're a true peace party.
Yes.
Because you're not going to hear that over in the RNC. You're not going to hear that in the DNC. You're not going to hear that in these other parties. They might say that they're peace parties or that they'd like to have peace someday if it suits the ruling class. But that's not what we're about. We're a true peace party. And that's actually how I came into the party. I was just a random person. And I ended up in Chicago in 2003 when the police were everywhere and they had lined the streets with everything and they were pushing the protests from behind because we had just started the Iraq War. And that's how I came to think about politics. We need somebody for peace.
Yes, 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 please, yes.
And in 2012, guess who I hear but Dr. JillStein.
Yes.
Talking about peace.
Yes.
For once,
Yes.
we have some candidate who's brave enough to stand up and actually say it. Actually stand up for peace.
Yes.
Actually stand up for some kind of real values.
Yes.
What do these other parties even stand for? Do they say what their values are up front?
War!
War!
Pretty much. Not really. They don't have those values up front. The Green Party, we have peace up front. We have democracy up front.
Democracy!
We have ecology up front. We need to take care of our planet. We have justice up front.
Yes. Love.
That's what the party's about.
Love, peace,
Not all this
freedom,
other stuff. And we don't have a whole bunch of staff. We just have us. That's what we have. And still, we're getting people on the ballot. Jill's already on the ballot.
Yes. All right.
We got ChesterTodd coming up. We got him on the ballot too.
Yes.
It might be a small start, but just like they think that they're going to stop us just by putting all these barricades up, doing whatever they can. But you know, the dandelions still come through the cracks in the cement.
Yes,
They can't stop
yes.
it. They can't stop it. They would love to stop us from being able to get our basic needs to eat. But guess what every tomato has inside? The seeds for 1,000 new tomatoes.
Yes,
Every
yes.
single time.
Yes.
We have the upper hand. The rain keeps falling from the sky. We can keep growing our revolution.
Yes. Yes.
And I want to thank Al for harboring that revolution here as well. And thank you all for showing up here. And most of all, thank you so much, everybody, and thank you, JillStein, for coming
Yes.
today.
Yes.
Welcome, JillStein.
Y'all give it up for Barbara! I want to bring back a very famous person in this space. Y'all might not know him, but he is the most noble, righteous, heartfelt, sincere,
Yes.
loving person
Yes.
I have met in many, many years.
Yes.
And for him to be where he is today, coming from what he come from, and understanding the need for change, the need for for revolution. I've watched this brother grow over the last few years, and I am tremendously proud of my little brother. I want y'all to give a real welcome to our brother, love and friend, Allah Musa.
All right.
I want y'all to say this out with me, right? Trump and Biden, they not like us.
They not like us. They not like us.
Trump and Biden, they not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Trump and Biden, they not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Hey.
Thank you, Mr. Gentleman. Ain't nothing like us in this room.
All
If you
right.
look around, there's all types of people. Men, women, colors, nationalities.
Yes, yes.
We are united.
Yes.
And united, we are strong.
Yes. Yes.
Don't
Yes.
let them fool you. Those seeds is in every single one of us. And collectively, our dreams for a better future can and will happen.
Yes. Come on now. Come on now. It's gonna happen.
Once upon a time, I used to hold political functions here as a service because we're a neutral zone, right? This is a melting pot it's an international destination for people to come from all over the world because we are inclusive and everyone is welcome here. I stepped away for a little while working on some projects, working on myself mainly, on the healing side, and just recently I came across a wonderful individual and an amazing party, the Green Party, and I looked into them, and I joined some Zoom calls, and I can't repeat the feeling that I got when Dr. JillStein said, day one, no more settlements in the West Bank on Palestinian sovereign land. I'm like, am I dreaming? Did she just really say that? And then talking about the genocide, it's almost like I'm living in an unreal reality. It doesn't even make sense anymore when it's difficult to say that killing of children should not be discussed. We need to talk about every single day the genocide that's happening in Gaza. It should be on the top of our conversations, and we must continue to remind those individuals that are responsible and complicit about this. We need to remind them each and every day. Every single one of us has a duty for all of us and for mankind, and we can't love other people until we start loving ourselves. And I believe that there's a candidate that has the capability of helping heal the world, because if there's ever been a time that healing is needed, it is now.
Yes.
I would love to introduce Dr. JillStein.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Al. Talk about healers. This is an amazing healer. I think everyone in this room is an amazing healer. The Green Party is an amazing healer. This is a time indeed for all of us to bring out our most healing and loving selves, because we are being tested now like never before. Who feels that? I mean, I feel like every day is a test. It's a test for, just to learn how many children have been killed today and what kinds of new ways is Israel. Have they done a missile strike on a soccer team yet today like they did last week? Have they sent this firebombing off in the Nusrat refugee camp that killed? This was a tent encampment that lit on fire, and some 40 or 50 people were killed, but hundreds were burned. Just unbelievable. Or in this supposed rescue of hostages, for 3 hostages, they killed some 300 or 400 people and wounded some 700. And what do you do if you're wounded and there's no care, and you have contaminated fractures and bones that are that are sticking out, and these become deadly. It may be a wound, but it's the end of the game, given what Israel has done to the healthcare system. It's just incredible. So that's one way that we're tested. Another way we're tested is like, can we talk about this? Who is going to be crying foul? Who's going to challenge your job, or your social media, or your
license.
Your license. What kind of license was challenged?
I mean, it's liquor license, right?
Really?
Let's talk
Oh my
about
God, yeah.
occupancy permits.
Liquor license and occupancy permits.
And our permit was pulled yesterday at 2:15. We were going to host this at the warehouse. I'm sure there's individuals that don't want to see people speak truth to power.
Yes, especially in advance of the Republican National Convention, where things like this must not be mentioned. Because what Donald Trump has said is, we are standing with Israel, always, for all things. And was it Trump who said no? It was actually one of his major sponsors, one of his major donors offered him $100 million for his campaign if he would just annex the West Bank. It's just jaw-dropping what's going on. And it feels like we're being tested, and we're being tested as people, our jobs, our reputations, our futures. But what is so amazing is how we are responding to that test. I don't see anybody shrinking from our job. We are called right now, because as Gaza goes, we all go. What's going on in Gaza is the future for all of us. Gaza really represents the worst abuses of empire that are happening. This isn't by coincidence. Ronald Reagan's Secretary of Defense back in the 1980s, what did he say? That Israel is the unsinkable battleship for the United States in the Middle East. Well, why would the US want an unsinkable battleship in the Middle East? Basically to safeguard the Middle Eastern oil supply for, on behalf of the US empire. So it is very much an expression of US empire, this epic battle that's taking place right now. Some of us whose hair is my color have seen some of these battles before. And I would say that we're making a lot of progress. I mean, it's horrible what's happening. It's absolutely shocking. But at the same time, we are mobilizing like we've never seen before. You may remember after 9/11, and suddenly, Islamophobia was everywhere, and the accusations of domestic terrorism were everywhere, and we could see a war coming for quite a while. And, we were not supposed to speak out then either, and people were being arrested and entrapped into, looking like they were involved in plots and being accused of being terrorists. There were awful things happening. And it took years to turn that around, years and years. And that war, to find the weapons of mass destruction, that completely outrageous war, the attack on Iraq. It's still, the US is still in Iraq, that's still ongoing. And there have been millions of lives that have been lost in the wake of that war, this false pursuit of weapons of mass destruction. It was just an excuse to go after Middle Eastern oil, in so many words. So what's amazing is how quickly we are mobilizing right now. And the American public is, is not being fooled. And a majority of Americans, almost from the start, even back in November, it was like 68%, according to an early Reuters poll, already understood that this was an absolutely horrifying war, and it needed to stop. It needed an immediate ceasefire and a diplomatic solution. So I think while we're looking at really, really scary stuff, At the same time, I think we all need to be so proud of each other and this community that we've created that enables all of us to stand up and keep fighting. And I want to just give a big shout out and thank you to all of us for enabling us to speak out and to know that we have support and we have safety in this community and to celebrate our progress. You know, we have one anti-genocide, anti-war, pro-worker, climate emergency campaign that is already on the ballot for the majority of voters in America. And that is to your credit. That is because of the support and the work that you have done, the support and the work that the Green Party has done in so many states across the nation. We actually entered into this campaign with a lot of states already on the ballot, thanks to the Green Party. This is one of the reasons why it's not enough to just be anti-war or to just be anti-poverty or to just be anti-climate change and fossil fuels. We have to have a political voice. We have to work together across the silos that the political predators would like to keep us separated into. One movement over there, another movement over there, and don't you ever dare get together. That is what we are doing. That is what the Green Party is doing. It's the words of Frederick Douglass, that power concedes nothing without a demand. It never has, and it never will. We are that demand.
Absolutely.
Everyone in this room is that demand. And that is the basis of our power. And the other advice that is just so important is Alice Walker, who said, the biggest way people give up power is by not knowing we have it to start with. We have that power. Sure. Check? Okay, we're there. Great, thanks. So we have that power. If you look at 68% of Americans who want to stop this war right now, that's a lot of power. If you look at the students who are mobilizing on campuses, even while they are being brutally repressed, suppressed, have their heads beaten in, arrested, expelled, they are standing up. The students have the power.
It's not a war, it's genocide.
If you look at our indigenous brothers and sisters who are standing up to defend their sovereignty, to defend their sacred lands from mining and exploitation and degradation, who are insisting that they must have the right to decide whether their land will be subject to extraction or not. That's up to indigenous tribes, and we see them standing up to fight the pipelines and to stop the pipelines and to say that you shall not pass to corporate America. You are not going to degrade our land and pollute our water. Thank you to our indigenous brothers and sisters. And thank you to all of the organizations who are here today, who are sponsors, from the Poor People's Army, who've been leading the cause for a long, long time. The cause for dignity, the cause for respect, for just housing. Sherry has been liberating housing, I think, as far back as I can remember. I don't know, how many homes have you liberated, Sherry?
Uncountable.
Uncountable, so many. Thank you so much, Sherry. To all of the organizations, let me see if I can pass that back to you for a minute, because I don't want to leave anybody out. Yes. Yeah, to Minister Khalif and to Kwame Che. Kwame, just want to thank you for your wonderful work. I also want to recognize ChesterTodd, an amazing candidate for Congress, who will be speaking to us shortly. There are so many of us that are standing up and leading the charge. We cannot help but succeed. And when things seem really bleak, just remember how quickly we are moving, and remember that we are winning the battle. As Alice Walker said, you know, the biggest way we give up power is by not recognizing how we have it. And the powers that be do not want you to recognize the power that we have. And they are doing everything that they can to try to make us feel powerless, because if we think we're powerless, then we will be hopeless, and then we will not be out there leading the charge. And we need to lead the charge, because there is no one else. We really are the ones we've been waiting for. We have the values, we have the numbers, we have the commitment, we have the experience organizing, and we have all these amazing people here in this room today. So I want to just give you a huge thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I want to just, in closing, I want to mention what's really, I think, a badge of honor for all of us in how they are fighting our political voice here. They are pulling out all the stops right now, and I don't know if anybody saw it, but we had a great Twitter fight with the head of the DNC the other day, Jamie Harrison. Yeah, it was just like amazing. The guy who's being paid to head the DNC was spending hours on Wednesday just trying to persuade people that I'm a Putin puppet, as if the Senate Intelligence Committee didn't already look into this for 3 years and come up with zero, completely debunk that accusation, and there he goes again. So we totally dragged him on Twitter, and just go to our Twitter, at Dr. JillStein. Go there just to enjoy the pleasure of seeing the chair of the DNC make a total, utter fool of himself. So definitely go check that out. That's one real sign of our success, is that the DNC feels like they have to assign their chair to trying to combat us, and he utterly fails. They have hired an army of lawyers in order to try to nitpick us off the ballot. We are fighting, and if people have spare change, we have to raise that money to fight these legal battles now on top of all the rest of it. But people are rallying. They have also now, this is a new one, they are withholding our matching funds. I don't know if you heard about that, but they owe us about $300,000, with which we were going to pay some of the amazing boots on the ground who've been invaluable in assisting our ballot drives. So they hold on to that money, so we've got to scramble to raise money to pay for the obligations that we already have. But this is how we're going to finish the job. We're on the ballot now for maybe 65% of voters, but we want to be on the ballot for 100% of voters. 100%. Every American deserves to stop this genocide.
Yes.
Most Americans abhor this genocide, and everyone has a right to say with their vote that this genocide has to stop, this outrageous empire has to shut down, oligarchy has to stop, poverty has to stop, homelessness has to stop. We are the only choice on the ballot that will do that, and now they are withholding the money by which we get on the ballot. So we are rallying with a lot of community support in order to raise the funds that we need. We're making huge progress right now, and we have a huge head of steam. They are trying. They are really, really scared of what's going on here. So we are standing up to insist that we have an America and a world that works for all of us, and that we have an anti-genocide, anti-war, pro-worker, climate emergency choice on the ballot for every American across this country. We are going to do that together. We are in this together, and come the election in November, that is just the starting point. So I think everybody this doesn't come as a surprise to anybody in this room that this struggle does not end on Election Day. This struggle, whether we win or lose. I mean, I hope we turn the White House into a greenhouse. Yeah. And the world will be a better place. And I hope we green Congress as well with some terrific candidates. I wouldn't rule out a complete black swan election here. We're in absolutely unprecedented times, and the mobilization of people right now to meet that crisis is also absolutely unprecedented. And transformational change really is within our reach. There are going to be 3 pro-genocide, pro-war, anti-worker campaigns on the ballot. Trump, Biden, and RFK. They're like peas in a pod, and maybe they will be splitting the pro-war vote, and maybe we will be unifying the anti-war, anti-poverty, pro-people, climate emergency vote. When it's a four-way race, you can win that race potentially with as little as 26% of the vote. In Wisconsin, we've been running among people under 35, which are like the weathermen who show which way the wind is blowing. We've been running 22% of the vote. So we can do this. Together we can demand an America and a world that's going to work for all of us. Let's make it happen. It's such an honor to be with you all and to be a part of this movement with you. We're in it together, forever. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Give it up for Dr. JillStein, everybody! If you haven't checked out the site yet, the Green Party needs your help. We need to raise, there is no large corporate donors, there is no super PAC. Every donor are individuals just like you and I.
There is no Israel.
Yes, we gotta stand together, we gotta stand together strong, and the Green Party does not, again, they don't take super PAC money, they don't take large corporate donors. It's everyday people like you. So if you can get your phones out, even if it's $1, $2, $5, do whatever you can. The Green Party appreciates it. The future generation appreciates it. And we have some yoga mats as well. We're going to be giving them away for free. So we have another guest. If you can, actually, and thank you again.
Okay, the most important part. Put the sign up for Chester. Okay, cool. My name's Pete Karras. It's nice to be here at the start of the revolution. And let's all promise to come right back here at the end of the revolution. I have the honor of introducing my good friend, ChesterTodd. He's a man. Chester and I started talking. We started talking probably, last year sometime. But then we started talking more. And we started talking more, and we covered every issue. And, we went to healthcare, we went, the defense, we went through housing, pretty much reached the gamut. And I realized, from talking to Chester, not only did he know everything about these issues, and in my opinion was on the right side of these issues, but he's lived these issues. Every one of them. From health problems. Chester is a young 82 years old. I don't think he looks a day over 81. But anyone in that age can have some health problems, and he's been through that system. He's been in the military. When he was a young man, had issues with that. He's had issues with discrimination and race. He's lived in the hood for a long time, and we decided that maybe Chester, together, we said, maybe Chester, maybe you should run for Congress. And about 30 seconds later, we're forming a committee, And we decided to run a campaign that talked about the issues a lot of people don't talk about. I mean, how many campaigns lead with reparations as a big issue? Reparations now! We have these signs up all over the south side of Racine, in the hood, in neighbor Chester's hood. We're in a purple district, in a purple state, and we're gonna shock some people. Because I don't know if we're gonna win this seat, because I don't know how many Republican votes, are pretty sick, but God darn it, we're gonna beat the Democrat. And we're gonna make a statement, and this guy's gonna be on national news as the face of the Green Party, and 2 years from now, we're gonna put him in Congress. Ladies and gentlemen, ChesterTodd.
Thank you. Yeah, I earned the right to be militant. 82 damn years. Now, I'm not a politician, so I might say some shit. I might say some stuff that's not acceptable. First, I gotta give thanks to everyone that invited me to be here. Second, I gotta look at this lady over here. I met her for the first time March the 21st. When I looked in your eyes, I saw hope. Hope that I have never experienced in my life. At the age of 17 in 1958, I went in the Navy from Racine, which my parents had moved me there when I was 9 in 1951. A lot of racism. I came from Kentucky. First time I went to school with a white kid was when I went to Racine. 1958, at the age of 17, I went in the Navy. I got called nigger two times a day for 2 years. I came out, I was so bitter. And I began to realize just where I was. Now don't forget, a lot of you are so young, some of your mother and fathers might not remember H. Fred Brown, Stokely Carmichael, Malcolm X, my mentors, people that I grew up under. Play it forward today, still no freedom. You think you're free? Take your butt down there by the Pfizer Forum and see if you can get close. You're not free. These people do not believe in freedom. They believe in one thing, capitalism.
That's right.
And we got war. And you know what war is? What war means is build, kill, and repeat. So we give you 2,000-pound bombs, you kill 15,000 Palestinian kids with no remorse, and then you start the assembly line back over again. And you know what? Every one of us who are taxpayers, we might as well understand that we got blood on our hands. We got to stop this.
That's right.
We can stop this. Lord, when I turned on the TV one day and I saw them kids' bodies laying out on this ground and white sheets covering them, and I said, this is American tax dollars at work. Well, we're not at war though. We got our proxy doing that, right? So that clears us. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, what are we going to do? Is people like the People's, the Poor Army, the Green Party? I believe in the Green Party. Let me tell you. In 1990, they ran Bill Clinton. I said, no, and please, I don't mean to offend anybody, but coming from the South, there was no way I could vote for a southern white boy from Arkansas. I just couldn't do it. So I researched him and found out that during his 11 years as governor of Arkansas, the minority are black. Infant mortality rate was that of a third world country. Then, I don't know, is anyone in here old enough to remember Sister Soldier?
I remember Sister Soldier.
You see what he did to her? He put her down to the, and there were blacks who were agreeing with him. And I'm really confused now because I'm saying, wait a minute, what's happening? And then the president that we have now stood up on the Senate floor in 1993 after 1970 and 71 running with stone segregationists who said he did not want his kid going to school in a jungle. Play it forward to 93 when he stood up on the Senate floor and all but said, not in these words, but every black person, every black man need to be locked up. We play that forward with, even with Hillary, who said, well, they're predators.
Yes.
They're predators. So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, folks and peeps, I've been here a long time, if any folks and peeps around, but free Larry Hoover. Well, all right, yeah, come on now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, we'll see, our brother didn't free him, did he? Had a chance. You see, this game is played by both parties. We fall for it. We say, oh, I'm a Democrat. Yeah, you might as well be a Republican. Same damn thing gonna happen. You're gonna stay poor. Karl Marx told us this wouldn't work. This wouldn't work. Capitalism it sows the seeds of its own destruction. Okay? Anyone knows if I build a house and the foundation is leaning in, that a few years later, what's it going to do? It's going to implode. We are now seeing that implosion. We're now looking at what the original founders of this society wanted. Rich white males take it all. He don't give a damn about his woman. He already told us he don't. No abortion. I don't care if my brother gets my daughter pregnant. It don't make a damn. She can't have an abortion. So we done took all the rights from women. So women now are no longer human. They don't have no rights. My wife would kill somebody if they and my wife's 58 today. It's her birthday. And God bless her. She killed me. Let me tell you, I tell people this all the time. I tell the people all the time. There's never been any dust here. Nobody gets me down there. At 82 years old, I refuse to do that. And if my wife thought I came home and I had bent over, she would divorce me right away. I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. When Pete, gentleman just here, my campaign manager, asked me to run at 82, I said, well, I don't know. My wife was sitting on the couch and she heard Pete. She says, why not? You got nothing to lose, nothing to gain. Everything to gain for the party, for poor people, because that's what I've been preaching all my life. I've been for the disenfranchised. 30 years as a junkie on the street. I've been cleaning out 35 years. By the grace of God. But let me tell you something. Let me say this. I wouldn't trade that time because I learned a lot. Being poor and on the street people don't understand. People don't know. When we say poor people, that's passe. That's poor, yeah, well, I know. That's a guy that was standing on the corner with that sign. He wanted to feed his family. But you know what? When he gets your money, he goes to the liquor store. I don't give a damn what he does with the money. All I know is I help somebody. And if I can help 1 or 2 people during the course of a day, it makes for a better world. Those of us in this room, we got a heart. But yet we continue, some of us, to vote for those who don't have a soul.
That's right.
Brother Hakeem Jeffries. I watched Hakeem one day jump on Tim Scott. I said, wow, Hakeem, that's my hero. That's another Malcolm. Then I was talking to Brother Kimon Freeman in D.C. running for Congress. Talking to him on the telephone the other day, I said, let me mention a name to you, brother, and you just give me your thoughts. I said, Hakeem. He said, great disappointment. And I agree, because when Hakeem stood up in defense of Israel, I said, oh no, brother, what happened? What did you do? You're looking at people dying every day. As a black man, I'm sorry, I don't mean to, look, I told you I'm not a politician, so I'm not saying it. But as a black man, knowing my ancestry, when I see disenfranchised people, people who are living under apartheid, who can't vote, whose land can be taken away from them at any time, and I'm knowing what the history of my people is, and I okay that? I go along with that? No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. What good does it do a man to win the world and then lose your soul? I have to be able to sleep at night. I've got to be able to go to sleep at night, knowing that I am not part of this duopoly. I'm not part of this, what they call a democracy. I'm trying to figure that out. Wait, democracy. The majority rules. What about the minority? Not race-wise, but those that didn't win. What happens to them? They don't get shit. They don't get nothing, all right? We don't get anything. They got us so bamboozled, it's pathetic. The Democrats come into my community every 2 to 4 years. And they say, well, we're going to work on reparations and police reform. And so we run out right away and vote for them. We're like black people and Hispanics and disenfranchised whites. We're like the elephant tied to that tree at the circus. We can't go nowhere because the Democrats have tied us up. The Republicans, they say, well, we don't want your vote because we don't want to owe you anything. Yeah, I'm not voting for any one of you bastards. You're not getting nothing from me. I'm going with JillStein and the Green Party. I want to thank you for having me, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
All right, give it up for ChesterTodd.
Hey, what do you think of that guy? Wisconsin's new 1st District Congressperson. I'll tell you one thing, he won't be caucusing with either of the corporate parties. Hey, we want to do something for his campaign if that's okay. Will you guys mind helping? Okay, I'll tell you what, we got a shit ton. Oh no, Chester said we can't talk. Can't say words like shit ton. We got a bunch of signs here. Can we get everybody together, kind of hold them up, make this look like a good old-fashioned Chester rally? Okay, let's get these passed around. Everybody come on up. Come on up, let's get together and Chester, I'm going to give you the microphone. Once everybody gets set, you're going to say some inspiring things, and everybody's going to cheer.
From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Free Palestine. 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 From the river to the sea. Free Palestine. 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 Free Palestine.
And join us Monday at 4 o'clock as we step off for the March on the RNC.
And then I got a report that they missed him, and I said, damn! Trump got shot in the ear, everybody, if anybody cares.
I'm sure
That's
it
a
was an
preliminary.
accident.
Take it back! 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 Take it back!
Free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Palestine libre.
Okay, go.
Palestina libre. Palestina libre.
Palestina libre! Palestina libre! Palestina libre! Okay, one more. No, some of it's not.